You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
This Trump henchman is about to be smoked live on TV, based on an article by Todd Blanche. The Attorney General is Trump's private counsel. Power, not procedure. The core fact in this story is simple. Donald Trump holds the real power, and Todd Blanche is the instrument he chose to exercise it. Blanche is not being described as an independent attorney general in waiting. He is being described as a loyalist who has lined the Justice Department with the president's personal interests, from the Epstein Files fight to the purge of career personnel to the reported July 4 flyover episode that even FAA officials initially rejected as too risky. That is the political meaning here. This is not about one overzealous appointee drifting off course. It is about a president using the federal government as a loyalty machine and rewarding obedience with authority. Blanche is the point. Blanche's value to Trump is not legal judgment. It is submission. The source text makes that plain by emphasizing his public affection for Trump, his willingness to serve as a vehicle for Trump's agenda, and his role in turning the Justice Department into something much closer to a personal defense team than a public institution. The 1,200 former Justice Department employees who signed the letter opposing his nomination understand the real danger. Their warning is not ceremonial. They are saying that fealty has replaced constitutional duty, and that the cost is not abstract. When thousands of experienced career employees are pushed out, the damage is structural and long-term. Institutions do not stay legitimate after they are emptied of the people who know how to resist abuse. The cover-up logic. The Epstein Files are not a side issue in this account. They are the test case for whether Trump's circle believes any evidence, any disclosure law, or any public record can stand above loyalty. Blanche's alleged role in blocking transparency is presented as part of a larger pattern. If the material is dangerous to the boss, then the law becomes optional. That is why the article's framing matters, even when it gets loud and messy. The scandal is not just that powerful men may be hiding ugly information. It is that a top law enforcement official is allegedly helping suppress it while treating that suppression as ordinary governance. When accountability becomes inconvenient, the administration's response is not to absorb the damage. It is to bury the evidence and dare anyone to stop it. Republican gatekeepers are not innocent. The Senate Republicans in this story are not passive spectators. They are the choke point. They can slow Blanche's confirmation, and the source points to some Republican unease, including concerns from John Cornyn and Tom Tillis. But concerns are not action. They are the usual signaling device used by senators who want credit for discomfort without paying the cost of refusal. It is the misdirection this article rightly refuses to accept. The problem is not a few bad optics or one bad temperament. The problem is a governing class that keeps giving Trump's loyalists institutional power while pretending that process itself will solve the damage. It will not. If Republicans keep handing Trump the vote, the office, and the cover, then they are not checking authoritarian behavior. They are staffing it. Elections are the real target. The source also points to the purge of election officials and the fear that Trump's circle is preparing to manipulate the next cycle. That is, the bigger pattern captures the enforcement apparatus, weaken the people who clearly refuse legal orders, and then meddle with the machinery that counts and certifies votes. Once those pieces line up, the rest is theater. That is why this story should not be read as a personality clash or a political feud. It is an operating manual. Remove safeguards, install loyalists, suppress disclosure, intimidate, or replace the people who keep elections and justice from becoming props. The aim is not persuasion. It is control. The systemic pattern. This is what authoritarian politics looks like. In practice, not one dramatic seizure of power, but a chain of smaller obediences that add up to capture. A president picks a personal lawyer. The lawyer serves the president. Career staff get pushed out. Transparency gets stalled. Senate Republicans mutter while holding the keys. And the public is asked to pretend this is normal because the paperwork still exists. It is not normal. It is institutional surrender dressed up as process. And if Democrats treat this as a messaging problem instead of a power problem, they will miss the mechanism entirely. The lesson is not that Trump is unusually shameless. The lesson is that shamelessness becomes governance. When enough officials decide their safest career move is to comply. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Roar's story for today's article. With the automated voice of Norman, thanks for listening.